The time I noticed the buy was up on here. I did see the TDI cross. It was going back and forth a lot with the signals. I just left it alone. I noticed the sell and the TDI sell and the catch up must sell all at once. Some told me to ignore that. It didn't do nothing. A lot of consolidation. Look like we got a double top M now though. This look like a sell. Probably finna get that retracement we was looking for. 4 hour and 4 hour look like crap. This ain't nothing but a range. Look like you want to buy and sell. We got M here. Came up here. Look like you want to hold this low here for a buy. It do look like you want to buy, and it's just a pullback on the 4 hour. But this right here is throwing me off. I can see the rejection for this being a W with a second leg dot right here, and that would be an M in the middle. But it don't look super clear. But then again, we got the TDI crossing on the 4 hour, and it looked like the catch up is costing mustard going up for a buy. The day chart still look like a range, and then the day chart still look like an M, and only a first leg of a first level of a sell. It still look. This ain't nothing but a consolidation zone here, which look like it's still on a sell. The day chart definitely look like it on a sell. And they almost did the same thing. Yeah, it's too much back and forth. It's ranging. It's probably going to sell though. I don't know. This strong little push here, that got broke right here. They didn't hold this on. Look like they want to come back to it, but I see I forget where I noticed the buy at, and I was like, it looked too far gone, so I didn't want to put no stop way down here and try to go for a buy. It wouldn't even hit that target. I mean, it got close. If I can erase that. I don't know. I still want to look for a buy, but the previous day, the way it closed, which I would just look at as a stop hunt. If it did a sale yesterday, it could sell today. It's only Tuesday. And then buy the rest of the week. Because this right here just ain't structured enough. I do see a railroad though on the 4 hour. Almost a complete railroad. Yeah, do look bullish with a pullback. Let me see. Let me double to the hour still look weird. Yeah. I probably should have took that. I didn't notice until after. When I looked at it, I wish I would have saw that earlier because I wanted to get in that buy. 30-minute hold the blueberry. It's right in the middle of the day. What's my area on? It's in the middle of the high and the low. This situation where I gotta ignore the moving averages. Try to see what the structure is really doing. Based off the five phases, I'd go for a sale though. We got consolidating here. This was our move. It went up all night basically, but now it's just ranging. Railroad at the top and go from at the top. Right here. Definitely kept giving the that's a well bearish engulfing, a railroad there, a railroad here. Tweeze the tops here. The sale was give a lot of signs for the sale. Hmm. Look like they want to sell, but I don't know if I want to chase that. Who all think is gonna range?
I think it's gonna rain like a motherfucker, and it's just gonna be chop and whipsaw for a bit.
Oh yeah, I figured that. That's why I asked it. I see it. And I don't know what direction it's gonna go. I think it might get some movement later in the week, but Tuesday, it look like it's just bouncing up and down. I do see it sell, but then like it's selling right now. But then like where I take it to, I could scout. I don't want to scout. I can catch 200-300 pips out of this box. I do see a clear M. I think I got to trade what it give me, not what I wanted to do. At the same time, I am kind of looking for this to sell back down again and retest. So I'm trying to damn update. I could have sworn I just did an update. What's the 30 minute? That's always my secret weapon. Oh, I did look at that. It hit the blueberry. And this could be holding that. Oh, it's still not much sign though. The latest entry I could have seen was still right here anyway. If I look at the close of the 30 minute, unless I would have called it up here somewhere. And this happened at tired of my chart not showing all the way. There we go. That was 8:30. Let me hit the let me hit the five. Same with the five. Now I mean it closed under the blueberry and keep on tanking. That down to the open. As not even 200 pips for real. I'll do a 300 pip move. I just don't know if I want to do it right here. I might get some rejection first and pull back and then take it down. That's like 400 pips to the low. And it's gonna go through some pullback for it. Just start straight dropping. Let me drop this link here. Quick. What else y'all looking at?
I was dealing with GN, but that kind of it's moving, but it's kind of you have to catch it at the edges. So the trade that I had for it, I kind of don't feel like I can hop back in it at this point.
GN and EN was my evening pairs when I was trading those. I like EN better than GN though. GN got more moves, but that should be crazy.
Yeah, I need to get back looking at it because I missed a lot of good like moves. What was it last week? It's like it feels like it moved more than it usually does last week.
Oh yeah,
And it just looked like it straight up died last week. And I was like, oh shit. Oh well.
it took a three vector sale.
That was a for GN, that was a bit much.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it did like a whole little 1, 2, 3 push right quick on a daily straight drop. Uh, kind of held the Mayo on that day chart or the 4 hour. Yeah, let me see. One, two. It might give
I think
another
EU
drop.
much.
You think
So
who?
EU, Euro USD is doing too much. Because it'll do nothing for hours and then it'll sharply shoot up like 30, 50 pips in one direction. It's, I don't know, it's very choppy. I don't like how choppy it is.
Yeah, EU look crazy. That was the first thing I looked at. That's what I was looking at first. I thought it was gold. A little choppy as hell. But then I was looking at the day chart and said this looked like an M, and the level one consolidation came in. So I would look for sales on EU based off of this. We got a W here, but then it came and did a straight up M with a W in the middle, and it did the first level. And that's why it's just consolidation in this range. It came and retested the daily water, and yesterday was bullish, like a straight drop, almost even like a railroad. So I could see how it came up and wicked that. It looked like it's going to sell, but it needs to break this right here for a real sale and finish off a whole three levels of an M on the day chart. Because even looking bigger, this could be one bigger M. We got our first one here and the W in the middle and a bigger M here. And it still just only did one level of drop since this. There's one whole, did like a three vector, even four kind of thing. It did a railroad and then straight three drop, straight 3 days of drop, consolidated. So I would look for sales, especially if I had caught that daily water right there 2 days ago.
Yeah, my EU is one of the few pairs I had marked up like months ago, and it's bouncing off of the bottom of the trading zone. So I also can agree that it's gonna go back down, but how far it goes back down is the question.
Yeah.
because it's not getting past, my even the bottom of, my trading zone. So
If it's if it's going to complete something, it at least need to come back to the bottom of the consolidation. And if it's going to make an M for real, then it'll start coming down to these points, these swinging lows. If it's really going to truly sell. If not, it could be forming a W where it's at right here. And they want to hold this zone and bounce up if it's going to be bullish over the dollar. And it might not do no whole M in 3 levels or even 2 levels. This could just be a consolidation zone. And we could be, since we have a W here and it did this M here, it could be forming another W right here. And then it go up if that's what the euro want to overall do. This is what the daily Mayo, so it kind of lagged it right here. Still kind of held it, but it was close enough. So it might be holding that zone still. It's holding it better this time than it did last time. Let me see what somebody's at the water. What do you know? I guess it would pull back. It pulled back. Well, what is this? 10 o'clock new hour counter. 15-minute that closed under the Mayo. That 5-minute closed under the Blueberry. The 30-minute it's kind of at the Mayo. This either finna pull back and we look for an entry for a sale. Yeah, that 4 hour look like a sale. That buy went away. Oh no, 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 no. That was euro. I'm thinking the euro. The euro said buy on the 4 hour, but it don't look like it's gonna do it. It might do that. The euro might be buying. I need to see what candle I'm looking for this to pull back. They all about the same. So look for it to pull back 50% of the previous candle and then look for a sell. I'm gonna do my field just to show it. I'm gonna see if they're about the same on all time frames. Yeah, because that ain't doing that. Why they do that like that? Nice, bigger. Oh, I picked the wrong field. That's that slanted field. I don't even see it to be honest. No, those are harmonic. First one, oh, that was Fib Channel. Yes, I think it's gonna sell. 50%, 45.08. Man, that look like it's doing a morning star on the fire. Let me see what it look like on here. 45.08 on the hour. 45.05 on the 15. It's about the same. And this pulled up to it. It did it on the 15. Yeah, this probably ain't nothing I need to force. I got a feeling it'll keep selling though. If I go with this M, if I stick with the M and one level, we got a 3 written on the 30. That's why I'd rather wait for a pullback. What's up now? We only been on here 30 minutes, so
Good morning, everybody.
Good day too. Oh, snap. My hand just went on. Oh, it's spark. I could get on, at least since Luna on here, get on my beginner class. I don't. I want to get into a cell, but I don't want to force the entry. And let me see, is there anything that can? No, all that's cross down on the 30. It could cross on the hour. I'd rather it be saying crossing because I think I changed my hour alert to per bar, not the close. And if it was, it's like flat on it right now though, so it's crazy that that's not crossing down as it's going down or up. If I get an alert for that, I would like it on this candle. That'll make me get into the cell where I have a May on the water on top. I just don't like the structure. I rather would have seen this W completed than for this to be the M. I do see the M though. Yeah, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna do a 200 pip stop. See, now it's pulling back up. Now, something I didn't think about. Well, since I was gonna do something for everybody that was new, I was gonna do Euro USD and just show the strategy that way. Unless everybody won't go, but I was gonna do Euro USD for real. Where is that? 45.05. So that would be 45.25.
Can you talk about the difference in the uh, volatility of gold versus EU?
That's kind of self-explanatory. You just gold is more volatile than EU. That's pretty much that.
I guess maybe with the stop losses and take profits.
Oh well, okay. My average is 200-300 with gold for a stop loss take profit. So with EU, I don't want to say the most, but I would say 30 pips because with the right stop, you can do like, I mean, there's times where I done did 10 pips on EU as a stop loss, 15 pips. And if you can get it down to that, you can go for a TP of like 20 pips. But 30 pips is like you really caught the whole day. Hold on a sec. Let me see what this look like. I think I will go over I did that backwards. This is for a sale. Oh no, that is for a sale trick. Yeah, I did that backwards as here to say long. I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. And see now it's consolidating. I'm probably gonna leave this alone. If I see the hour TDI give me any noise, then I'll mess with it. I'm gonna go over EU. I go over gold so much. I think y'all get that. Let me run this down right quick. I want to see if it's gonna give me any pullback interest. No, it's not under the 50. No, it would have to go up and go back down for the 15-minute to go off. That's not gonna happen no time soon on the 5. I was not awake, so all of those would have been the entries right there with those pullbacks on the 5. I seen these, but then it started doing too much choppy stuff, and then that would have came and I would have had to use this as a stop, which that would have been cool actually. But let me see. Then there's a buy here which did not do anything on the 30. It went up, so that ain't gonna work. Well, it was 45, there was 05, and there was 09 for the hour. So I'm gonna set an alert right there. That'll be 50% pullback of the hour candle. That'll be an alert for that. And if the TDI say sell when it crossed one or something, I'll take a look. So I'm gonna get off of gold and we're gonna go to EU. All right. I'm gonna use my measuring stick and I'm gonna go see what's the average of what it looked like a stop loss on the TP could be. I'm gonna base it off the second leg of the M's and W's, even the catch up crossing the mustard. It's consolidating, so it's a bunch of the water going straight across. But I'm gonna do that just to get an idea of what your stop loss and your TPs would be. I could put one here. So that one was at 30. You would have needed a little breathing room. What I did was I put it on the close of this candle. Let me zoom in. We got a W here in the candle close. So I'm using my measuring tool just to see. 30, you would have been stopped out if it hit it, but it didn't go down. So we go for 30 up, and your TP would have been here, the close of this candle. So 30 would have been good right there. It did 40 overall before the day ended. And then the peak it went was 68 at the top of this wick. So even a good 60 pips. So which is twice the reward. Because I would like to base it off of 30 pips, but 20 pips for a TP might even be a sweet spot. And I'd be looking for 10, 15 pip stop losses. But I always find a stop loss first. So like if I would have took this W with this crossing right here and had a stop loss like that, I would have went for the 30 pips and been good. And let me see what it did. 1, 2, 3. It did it in 3 hours, the third candle. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and it would have hit. I don't know why that popped up. So off the blueberry, if I had did an off the blueberry trade, came and hit it here, I could do it that way to show how that works. Right there, especially if like you had a bot or something. It went up about 17 pips, so a 20, 30 pip stop loss. Let me start that over so I can move that. Oh man. Because I'm sitting and laying in the seat. That's right. Oh, might be this hard as chair. Anyway, speak like this in a minute. Hey, based off the blueberry. 20 pips would have been good. I was, I'd probably start off with 30 though. You got to kind of analyze it. So let's do this. I would look for the next swing high and see where that's at. It's way too high. Or too far back even. Mine would be 30 though. That would be my average. And I'd do a 1-to-1 unless I could see a tight stop loss. They would at least be 1-to-1, 30 and 30, but you can find setups with like 10, 15 pip stop losses on Euro USD. And then I'd go for like 20 pip TPs on setups like that. But this right here would have been good. If you would have been doing 20, you would have still been in the clear, a 20 pip stop loss. It went up 17, you'd have just barely been still in there. But it never would have hit it. You would have definitely been clear with the 30 pip stop loss. And then it came down and it did what, 20 right here at the water. So your TP was at the water, you would have got 20 pips. And then it did 30 down here, which it took a minute to hit that. And it went as low as 60 overall. And that would have took a day for it to go through. And this is in the range. This is just in consolidation. You still would have been able to get 20, 30 pip moves. That's all you're really going to go for with these Forex pairs. Unless you on the GBP pairs, then you can start going to 50 or more. And that's just for a day trade, day to day. I mean, you can still go for 100 pips or something like that on these pairs. That's when you trade on higher time frames and you're looking to hold it for 2 days or more. That's a gap, so I couldn't use that. Even something like this, let me see what this played out like. I gotta get rid of that. Like if I wanted to take this W right here and entry right there, soon notice a big strong push up. Go down to the bottom, that was 36 pips. A candle like this, I ain't gonna lie, I'd definitely take something like this on gold. And I wouldn't care how many pips it is. But if I had to did 40, see that right there is too much. Because I would have been taken out of this trade. I would have had to do like 50 pips. Let me see. You would have had to give it 2 shots though. So this candle was a real strong push up. I would have took that. But 30 pips would have took me out this trade, 20 pips, because before it gave it out, it only went as high as, well, it went 25 pips. By 20 pips on the forest pair, I'm managing it the same way I would do gold or partial or stop loss and profit, something like that. But it came and did this bigger W. So if I was going for 30, I would have gotten taken out. But the 20, going for like 20 is going to be my range, 20 and 30. And I see it do 26, then yeah, I would have profited off of that. I wouldn't have let that go all the way back negative without securing something. So even if you're going for 30, you need to have halfway points. It's like set alerts, 15 pips or 20 pips or something like that. If I'm going for 30, I'm definitely have an alert for 20 pips. And when they hit that, I'm checking it. That's how I would do Euro USD. But let me see, just to go over, it came down 50 pips down here. So if I would have re-entered, noticing this was a bigger W, and if I had to did it on the candle close, I don't know if I would have I could have caught that if I was trading the zone right here with the lows, but at worst, when the catch up must have crossed and it closed up here, the entry would have been way up here. And then what's that, 48? See, that's two. I can't say I realistically would have did that. Not with Euro USD. Maybe a GBP USD, yeah, I'd have did that. And then it went 50. So no, it didn't do 50 pips until way over here. And that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. That right there don't look all that good. If I wanted, because I like to put my stop below the low. Now, if I went and did it below this candle, I still would have got taken out the next day. Because one of my spots for my first spot, my stop loss is always going to be below the candle that made the catch up must have crossed if I'm catching an entry like that. And so even with that, it would have came back and hit me out right there again. If I put it anywhere below this, which is still almost close to 50 pips, I'd have been safe. But yeah, that one don't look all that hot. Let me see, I did that already. And this is still in the range. On clean movement where it's trending, you can get that. You can get pips like that, no problem. So if I would have went off for something like this with the scanner, with a sell, water across the Mayo came in here and then did this railroad and these sales went off. I'm gonna do it at the end of the railroad. If I go put it at the top of that, that's only 14, 15 pips. If I go to the high of the previous high, which is up here or above the water in the Mayo to put my stop, I could have did 30 pips. I'd have been above the Mayo right here. It looked like it would have took maybe like 34, 35 pips to get above that. But on this day right here, it would have been clean just putting it right above the Mayo with 30 pips and going for 30. I'd have been done by the end of the day with it. I would stick to 20 to 30 pip stop losses. You can even start off doing 20. Gotta buy here. Below the candles. 30 would have had me in the clear right there. And then, yeah, it didn't give that out. It didn't even do 20 off of that entry. It did 15. So it's right there. That's going to be about the same situation. But let me redo that, showing it just below this, because this is almost like a morning star. We got a doji, that's our shift candle. So below that, and it's at the low of the day right here, it still would have been bad. It's like 25 pips. The stop ain't bad, but they didn't give it out. They only did like 12. You would have had to take that 12, 15 pips. It did 15 at the most when it got up here. That winning a profit. But if you're doing a 20 pip TP, then I'd be having alerts for the halfway mark, which would be 10 or 15. So it depends on how you do it. I would start off with the 20 though. Now this one right here would have been good off the blueberry. Manually trading it, I would have waited for the ketchup and mustard to cross up off of the blueberry, and then I would have entered. Not as soon as it hit it. That's the advantage of trading it manually compared to like the bot hit it, it's gonna take it right away. Now this still would have been a good trade So I do that as well because the bot is set for 30 pips as well. So I'll give a visual of both. The 30 pips would have been good. It would have hit it right here, took the buy, set a automatic 30 pip um, stop, and then went for 30 pips, which was up here. So it came and hit it after a whole day. It activated at the end of this day, went through this whole day, and didn't hit it until, oh, really 2 days. It closed and opened for 2 days, and then it would have hit the 30 pips here. Now that's how a bot would have did it. But me trading this manually off the blueberry 1 hour chart, catch up across the mustard, I would have managed this for 60 pips instead of 30. Or you could do 40 if you normally go for 20. So after this cross, it would have been here, opening this candle. Stop loss would have been like 17. I could have did a 20 pip stop loss, putting it below the low of this. And then going for 20. It would have hit that right here at the Mayo. And then we got 30 up in here the next day. It did a total of 103. That would have been 100 pips. I know me, the way I trade, I would have went for that because I would have went for holding it for a day off that blueberry. So even if I enter here, I would have waited for the next day to play out. Came up right before New York session, so 9 o'clock, I'd have been looking at it and it'd have been back down here at the worst because I would have let the whole Asian London play out to watch what it's going to do for New York session. I would have caught all this. It would have been target set and you would have had your, at least would have closed at 60 pips. Let me see.
So you would have went against the scanner.
I go to the scanner all the time. I'm trading TDI more than anything. This is the blueberry. And the scanner is the last thing. I don't even use the scanner. But because all that's the only thing the scanner do is catch across the mustard and the water's on top, sell, and if the water's on the bottom, buy. That's the last thing I'm looking at. I'd have traded this blueberry 1 hour chart, catch across the mustard off the blueberry. I wouldn't have went and got in and looked at this sale based off of that, knowing it just bounced off the blueberry on the 1 hour. And on top of that, my TDI crossed right here. Same time to catch up mustard crossed right there off the blueberry. Yeah, I'm not paying that no attention. I'm doing that 1 hour blueberry setup like this. This is like one of my favorite setups because I'm a 1 hour chart trader. I see something like this on anything, I'm taking it. Especially with this setup like this. So I already know that's a bounce is going to come and retest that and do a second leg. We got railroads at the bottom of the day. This is not completely a railroad, but that was decent off the one push. I wouldn't have took that. I'm going to wait for that second leg because this is technically the first. This could be the one. That could be one. And that was divergence there on that. On the TDI, a little lower right here and then higher right there. So I peeped that. I definitely would have waited for that second leg to play out. And once my TDI crossed right here, that's how I know it was confirmed. And it happened to cross on the ketchup and mustard at the same time right there, bouncing off the blueberry. I'm taking that. If this was gold, I'd be looking to hold this for 2-3 days off rip. It didn't do it with this because I know that was ended up being a peak and it was selling. We was just looking at that. But I definitely would have took this buy and held that for the day. This would have been my swing high target. And it came and hit that. So let me see, because I already hit the ruler. That right there, that was 73 pips up to that. So that would have been right here where it hit it. Don't count the wicks. Look at the swing high. So I would have went for that 60. That 60 would have been once 60 happened, I would have been done with that and put the start loss of profit and let it run if it kept running up. Same way I would manage gold after hitting a target like that off the blueberry. Because the average is 30 pips, you can do 20. So once it did twice of that, yeah, I'm done with it. I would have went for this all day off the blueberry like that. That's a clean, perfect setup. And then it never broke those highs and reversed. Same with these. Yeah. These off the blueberry catch across the mustard. We're not looking at a scanner for a blueberry trade. Right there, bam, crossed up, closed. My low right there, right around 21 pips. I could have extended it without even having to do a whole 30 a little bit, and then went for the 30. It did 24 there. That would have been your 1-to-1 right below the low. Could have had the Mayo as a TP, would have hit that right there at 33 pips. So that was the 30. And then up here, it did it did the 60. As long as the spread wasn't messing around, it did 64. The 60 would have took you out the trade. You'd have been good to go. We're done. They went for it again. Here. I like to wait for it. Now, knowing this hit did this is rare, but I used to do it like this. I probably would have hit it as soon as it hit the blueberry with this because of that. To me, that's going to retest. And to me, it just looks like, okay, it's going to be one big W. This one's a little different. I'll measure it from after the catch up cross, which it didn't do nothing if I would have waited on that because it came back down and would have hit my stop. If I had did it as soon as it hit the blueberry, it would have went as high as 37 pips. It hit the Mayo right there. So it got to 40. So depending on my entry, I still could have got 30 pips out of it. Matter of fact, let me start from the top of that and go down 30 this way. And so my entry would have had to been here off this candle, which would have been half of this candle. If I had entered anywhere up in here, I could have got to 30. And they came, I could see why I did this. They always come and got to take people out who got it right the first time. All that movement, they wanted to go up. They had to come and take the early traders out. That's why securing profit and taking partials is important because you go through stuff like this. But then it came and did the retest. Like, okay, we got people trading blueberries. We're going to break it. But then all it did was still hold it. Got your bullet in the gulf in here. Got this little inverted hammer here. I got my TDI crossing right there, which is this candle. And by the next candle, they catch up a mustard close. This was the one. This worst case scenario, that candle closed. All it did was wick up, so it was still right here. That candle wicked all the way up, came back down and closed open. Bam, this thing would have said crossed. And that's on an hour. Because these are still, I went over this before with this being an hour and me knowing this happened. I still would have broke down to the 15-minute chart to watch those crosses happen. And the entry would have been here at the latest still based off the hour straight up to the Mayo was 31 pips, 30 pips. Hold on a sec. Okay, when as high as what? It did 100 off that wick. I'm gonna redo this. I don't know if I'm catching all of it. Yeah. Yeah, so we could have did a clean 100. Up here to right here was 87. Our swing high could have been this point right here, which still would have been 70. That was 72 pips. So if I look at my swing high and then enter it here and put in my TP as that, I could have went to where the wick's at, 64 pips. I would have got 64 pips out of it. It did 60 right there and did the 64 by here. Whether the wicks was if the wicks and the spread wasn't taking me out, it would have definitely closed by this point after it went up and extended it. So could have got a whole 100 pips off that blueberry right there. Came and did it again, same thing again. Went over that one already. Now with the scanner, I could have did this here with this sell. This was a good sell. If I would have went to the high today, it was only like 11 pips, so I could have put it above the Mayo. I could have did 20 pips. Wouldn't even had to do all that, but it's above the Mayo. This is the high of the day here. I could have did 20 and went down to the blueberry. To the blueberry did 27. So I could have went for my 20 and 20. 20 pip stop, 20 pip TP and did that. 27. I could have went for 25 pips and went as low as 50 right here. That was a good trade right there with the scanner. The thing is, to maximize even the scanner, you still got to understand the structure and everything. Oh man, you take my magnesium. Okay. This one, let me see what this one got going on. That's right here. Open of the candle. And it only went as low as like 19 pips. It didn't even do a whole 20. And if I had to put a stop up here above this, that's like 24. That's hit or miss because with it seeing the sale right here and knowing the blueberries right there, your TP definitely would have been the blueberry. I wouldn't put it right at the blueberry, so I had to put it up a little bit. So you could have, it would have did like 17, 18 pips. It only did 19 actually touching it. This is something I would probably wouldn't have took because it was too close to the blueberry. So you gotta pay attention to stuff like that. Unless you're watching it and you're gonna take it to the blueberry. It depends on how you trade. You doing like 10, 15 pips or something, you could have took it right before it got to the blueberry. I wouldn't wait for it to hit it because that might not happen. It could get close as possible and then not hit it. It already wicked off of it here previously before the sale came in. So that I probably wouldn't even took. Unless you scalping, you could have scalped that and took that. You could have got your 10, 15 pips. But this one was good. It was a lot of breathing room to it. We had the mayo and the water on top, and the target could have easily been a blueberry. We just looked at that and it would have did like 70 pips, I think it was. I don't know if it did the 100. And yeah, 60. So you would have got your 30 for sure. And if I see that I could double it, I would have been going for 60. These is decent. This one ain't do. I don't think that one did too much. Bar right here, bam. I only went as high as 53 pips way up here. Up to this high, it did 20. It did like 26, so you could have went for the 20. Your stop loss could have been tight with that below the low. That's like at 25 below this candle. It would have been 30 pips below the water. I could have went for 20 pips and got out of that. And this is something you have to know this when it keeps on buying. So because we're going backwards. This was our first buy right here. Excellent ass buy. And then they gave off all these buys. These were all decent. As long as you would have been putting your stop below what made it shift in the low, you never would have got stopped out of these. This one here, even you could have put it below the low. I'm gonna do that one because that looked like the worst one on here. And what I was getting to is when you see all these buys like this, you start to anticipate, okay, it's tapping out, so it's not gonna give as much pips as these because it's already done gave the pips out. That's when you start doing stuff like going for your 20 pips, 15 pips. So this one was the worst case because of the entry. It did the buy right there. Now, if I had to put this just below the low right there, let me where's all my it's not showing my indicator list. I don't know, I done hit something. I ain't got time for that. And it popped back up. It's just glitching. I had to switch the chart. I'm gonna go back, find that spot. Right here. Yeah. So I can see the candles clear. I'm gonna check the chat in a minute. I see I got some questions. I'm not sure what's going on. All right. Entry. Below this candle here. That's 36 pips. Below the water would have been 40 or better. So let's see what we got, what it gave out. 20. You could have went for the 20, 25. It didn't do 30. So this one would have been the one that was the worst one to me. Because even this one would have been better. We got a buy right there. So I'm gonna measure that out. Open another candle. It went as low as 17 pips after that entry. So a 20 pip stop would have had you straight. A 30 pip stop would have been good. And from that entry, it went as high as 44 pips. So you would have got your 20 and 30 off of that one. That was the only one that was bad. All the rest of these, because it went off again here, you could have got 60 pips, even up to 100. It did all that. Let me double check that. It might have did closer. Let me see right here. Bam. Could have did that. Could have put it below the low. That would have been 35 at the worst. Below these lows, the previous lows, you could have did 30 pip stop and been straight right there. This is also how the I forget what they call it now, that other bot, the ketchup and mustard bot, they calling it something else now. The one other than the blueberry for those that have it. This is how this trades because it's going to automatically do 30 pips unless you're changing these settings. So these are the trades that would have been taken. This is also how you do the scanner though, because it's the same thing. You just got to manually put it in there. So when high went up to 109 here, that would have been by the next day. And the peak was 149, almost 150. So that's how they go. I'm going to look at that entry here because the scanner gave off an entry right there with that buy right here. And that when the high is there, so how many pips did that give out? This was a good one. That's the entry it looked like. Yeah. Oh no. I'm tripping. It's at the start of opening of the candle. It did buy right here. So you would have caught that whole candle going up when it opened. The low 17 pips would have had you at the low of the day. The 30 would have been here. By the end of the day, it only went there for the end of the day. It did 60 pips at the end of the day, right before it closed. Market open next day right here, 124. By the next day, you was up 177 pips just off of that. You got some ranging in. Level 2 came in, pushed up 221, 263 the next day. Reverse back there, did a peak of 306 pips before that run was over and it reversed. All of these would have been decent for 20, 30 pips. It didn't do no pullbacks and gave it out. Same here, gave that one out. That one was bad. These would have been good. These look like the smallest. So I'm going to count the pips on that. I'm going to go with this one because it got the worst entry. 10 pips. The peak right here was 26. So you didn't need, you would have been good. It gave out the 20 pips. Barely 30 on this entry. This entry right here was better. I did this one because it looked like the later entry. So you would have got 20, 30 pips. Barely to 30. It all depends. Well, no. Long as the spread hit it. It did a low of 32. Long as your spread would have hit your target. All of those would have made money. That was terrible. These weren't no good. That wasn't either. This was all choppy. And what it did was it was coming up to the blueberry and held the blueberry. It actually hit it here and that took off. This one was good and all of those was good. Yeah, that's bad right there. All of these is good. All them sales are strong. And still stick with your timing and all of that, because all of these are different times of the day. These pretty much all look like right before New York, though, with the timing of it. Well, that was at night, and that's London. So it depends when you trade it too. You ain't taking all of those because they're all in different sessions. Let me check now. EU consistent with 30 pips. Yeah, 30. You can do 30 pips on almost everything, and you don't start going up until GBP pairs. I'm not sure how you say your name. It look like INQ. It look like
And so,
Flo is your nickname or something.
yeah, that's fine. Either Hensho or Flow. Yeah.
Okay. Are you in No More 9 to 5?
No, I'm not sure who was in the chat. I got invited, someone that I connect with on Facebook. So,
Okay. Uh, I know that ain't CC on the call. What's happening, CC? Um, Let me see. I was trying to think what route that what start you off at. So I answer it in real time, and then if I can find a way to reference, I'll drop this video though. Luna, you want this video? I can send it raw like it is if there's something y'all want to go over. I'll send this though. Yeah, I kind of went over the pips, how to use the scanner, how to use the Blueberry bot, and if you got the regular ketchup and mustard bot, that's kind of what I just explained. So these
Question.
lines are moving averages, like they've been saying in the chat, their EMAs. I do gotta ask, have you ever traded before? Flow.
I've dabbled and dabbled, but not enough to say that I
Okay.
really what I'm doing.
So you don't know what moving averages are.
No, not before today.
Okay, all right. So they're called moving averages because they're the average of price of the candlesticks, how much they move on average. And the numbers kind of represents the number of candles on a day chart or on a daily basis. So what this is that I got is the scanner, and what it does is it gives off buys and sells when we have what we call the ketchup, the red line, the mustard is the yellow line, the water is the light blue, baby blue line, the mayo is the white line, and the blueberry is this darker blue line. And what the scanner does is our water is our trend line. Your mayo is your trend line as well, but this is based off the water being a trend line. And every time the ketchup crosses the mustard in a certain direction, it gives off buy and sell signals. So what makes it give off the sell is if the water is above the ketchup and mustard and the ketchup crosses the mustard going down. When this crossed down, it gave off the sell. We got another, the water's on top, ketchup crossed the mustard going down, and then it gave off the sell. And it's the opposite for the buy. If the water's on the bottom of the ketchup and mustard, because we would say on the bottom of the candlesticks, but it don't have to be on the bottom of the candlesticks. As long as it's at the bottom of the ketchup and mustard and this crosses up, it's going to give off a buy. So I'm going to take that out right quick, and you can see the water here and the ketchup and mustard crossing up. That's the basis of the strategy. This is what I call the training wheels to the strategy. If you are no more 9 to 5 member, it will come with this with your membership, and you can put it on TradingView, and it uploads everything on TradingView. So if you like to trade stocks or crypto or whatever it is, it's gonna bring this up on your chart, and you'll be able to get these signals. The way that that works is, as long as you're a member, this pops up on your chart with a free TradingView membership. We don't sell TradingView memberships. If you're familiar with TradingView, that's something you got to go through TradingView. But what you can do with it is, if you have a membership with TradingView, they can send alerts for when this goes off straight to your phone or your desktop, however you want to do it.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So I'm trying to think. I think I got a video explaining all the moving averages. I'll look for it. Are you in any of the groups, the Telegram group or anything?
No, I am not
Okay,
yet.
you just this your first time were you on the evening call or anything?
No, this is my first ever,
Oh, you
you
just
know,
jumped. Okay. Who told you to jump
um,
on here?
his name on Facebook is G Netter King.
That's me. So I don't know who you are, because yeah.
You
Okay.
just you just throwing people in the fire, fly man. You just throwing people in the fire.
Yeah, sure. He jumped on. Oh, you hit me up on Facebook. You
Yes,
messaged
sir.
me. Yeah, well, see, yeah, your name, I don't know your name because your Facebook name ain't this name.
Okay. I apologize. I can change it.
You got on the call and didn't know it was me running my own call.
I wasn't, no, I never heard your voice before, brother. So,
Ain't nobody else running my call, sir. I'm not the middleman, but let me see. Okay, yeah, your first name match. I see it. It was the flow. Okay, yeah, I know exactly who you are. All right, then this is up. So, um, what did you trade?
a little bit of Forex, and like a couple of like I think maybe Euro USD, Japan USD. I was barely in there 'cause, like I was trying to brush up on like tutorials and stuff like that. And, like
Oh, you
my
did
head,
Euro USD.
yeah, like just dabbling more so like practice, not even long enough to say that I really knew
What
what I was.
what platform was you trading on?
MetaTrader
Okay,
4.
that's perfect. You still got an account?
I haven't closed it, but I have to go through the process of seeing like if I remember my login information. It's been years since I touched it.
Who was your broker?
Um, Hugo's Way.
Oh yeah,
Is that
they ain't even yeah. They don't need, they got their own platform. Nobody even really trading on them no more. They're no longer on MetaTrader.
okay?
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send you because I'm yeah, I got your Facebook now. Let me see if I got it. I'm gonna shoot you a link for a broker, and you can sign up with them, and I will put you into a free because I did send you all the information. I'll put you into a Telegram group where all you got to do is sign up with my broker. I put you in the group, and I send the trades, and you just copy and paste the trades.
Oh man, that's fire. Um, how
Yeah, so
much?
that's all. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
My question was like, about how much would you recommend that I get started with to kind of set up the account?
Man, I do not pocket check. That is completely up to you. So I
Okay.
do have a few ways of how I got people into this. Um, First start off, I don't know if you need to start off in a demo and get the feel of it again, get familiar with the buttons all over again. We're using MetaTrader 5, so it got a little bit more tools than 4. It looked pretty much the same. The only major difference is the 4 hour chart if you traded the 4 hour time frame. Um, the candles start at different times. So if you're familiar with the 4 hour chart, they usually start at 2, 6, and 10. That's AM and PM. With MetaTrader 5 is 1, 5, and 9. So there's 1 AM, 5, and then 9, AM and PM. That's the only real major difference. Um, Other than that, everything else the same, and then it has extra tools on it that I feel is better than MT4. So I would get familiar with the buttons first. Let me see. Before the day's over with, I'll add you to that group. Do you use Telegram?
Yes, I have Telegram.
Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna send you my number on Facebook and see if we can find each other on Telegram. And I will add you to the group. And then I actually would just send you an invite to the group. But if you could still message me, that'll be better. And what I'll do is like make sure I send you my YouTube channel and stuff like that to help get you like refreshed or started or whatever you may need. Um, then we'll figure out if you want to use your own money, you can always start with whatever you got. But I also like a few prop firms. You familiar with prop firms?
Burn. No.
Basically, you pay a few $100s, whatever you got. They got different prices. Like I know, I want to say about $250. What's that? Let me check that out. He hit the water. He hit the water. Okay. Okay. It ain't doing nothing. They did a railroad on the 15 minute like you want to go up. I don't even go to long for the day. It's 11 o'clock already. Another hour it'll be just doing more of this. Um, so prop firms basically allow you to trade with other people's money as long as you know what you're doing. So I would want you to build the skill up first. Make sure you're confident in it. Whether you use your own money or a demo, whatever you need to do. You ready to put some money in there? Go put some money in there. Um, I'm trying to get back familiar with trading Euro USD for other people because I trade gold and you need a little bit more money to do that. I would suggest at least like $500. if you're doing gold. But if you're doing forex, you can still start with a few hundred. I don't like to tell people that because you're just gonna be trading pennies for real. But there's nothing wrong with that because to me, building the skill is more important. Because if you can manage the skill with small money, you're not ready to throw in big money anyway. Throwing in, I don't care if you was rich and you was able to throw in $1 million, that's not going to make you good. So whatever you got is whatever you comfortable with. I got some rules in there. Don't trade your bill money and all that kind of stuff. So trade what you can put to the side, um, and you willing to risk. But the skill to me is the most important thing because if you can build the skill with a smaller account, I would still say start small first anyway, so that you create the healthy habits and then you put that money in there, whatever you want to put in there. Or you can go for a prop firm. Like $100 will get you $10,000 on a prop firm. And you'll be able to do something like make $100, $200 a day with something like that. You'll have the leverage to do that. I want to say this for everybody using props. The way I'm looking at it now is whatever account size you pick is how much you making quarterly or even yearly. You want to make $100,000 a year, go get you $100,000 prop firm account. You'll be making like $400-$500 a day. You can make way more than that depending on what type of trader you are. I'm a conservative trader. Some of the traders in here are more aggressive than me, but the skill is the most important thing. So I would take baby steps. Get a demo first and get familiar with the app and just keep up with me and we can go from there. I do these Zooms every Tuesday and I do got a lot of stuff on my YouTube. So what I'm gonna do, I didn't start it today because people had jumped on. I didn't know who was all gonna jump on. I was waiting for the new people to get on. What I'm gonna do for the next about 2 months is basically the way I do one-on-ones. I'm basically gonna do my Zooms like that, as if this was a one-on-one, so everybody can see the strategy broke down from beginning to end. I'm gonna start that next week. Um, I'll be more prepared for it. And I didn't want to, I was going to start, I should have just started. I was waiting on Luna for real, but appreciate you getting on the call, Luna.
Yeah, I
I,
apologize. I had a 9 a.m. meeting I had to attend.
all good. What I'm going to do next week is crank it up anyway. So even if you don't need this, some of these people don't, it's always good to go over. Repetition is key. I say the same thing 10 different ways and they click different for somebody that day. And you know what I mean? And when I do this stuff, my mind be 100 miles per hour. I'm just like downloading on y'all. So everything I see, everything I look at, all the little bitty stuff I do, I point it all out. I'm real detailed with explaining this stuff. So I'll be doing that and I'll make a playlist of that. And you basically will have what I would give in a one-on-one for free. That's what I usually would charge $300 for in my personal group. Because I did send you that information as well, Flo, where I got two groups. So I got one that's always been my personal group. The other group got other traders in it. It's one of my homeboys in there, go by Dream. He give off trades as well. He gave off a sale yesterday. So you'll get a little bit of all of that. Um, so you're gonna get value from both. But if you want like all my notes and everything I got, that would be my personal group. So I'm gonna do the one-on-ones. It'll be a playlist. Man, everybody can have it. It'll be on my YouTube. You'll be able to look at that free, go over it.
Okay, I really appreciate
Yeah. I'm trying to think if it was something else, but that was it. Yeah, that's what's up. Let me see. We didn't get in nothing today. It's only Tuesday.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, I mean, if you need to go, like, just let me know. But because I just kind of took some JPY pairs. I am not familiar with JPY pairs at all. Um, I feel like I kind of set myself up to fail. So I was wondering if you wanted to look at like, um, CAD JPY or NZD JPY
NZDJPY.
briefly.
What was the first one? Cat.
CAD
I
JPY.
fucking hate cat. Let me see. It's CAD and it's the Swiss franc. I do not like them at all. Let me see. Ain't no wrong. They just slow as hell. That's all that is. Um, Let me find that because that is not on my watch list.
I have had success with NZD JPY, but I'm also because I took like two sells because I know Japan something like tanked in Japan's economy recently. So I just kind of took low risk sells just to feel them out because I wasn't feeling the way gold was moving this morning. So I was like, I
Yeah,
kind of wanted to try another pair, like another opportunity. And I don't know if I should just close them early or like if it's just going
yeah.
to
If
be
you
a thing where I have to walk away and it'll hit my take profit like later. But
just look at it.
or
What
if
did
I
you get
just
into
I got into a sell, I believe.
on NZD JPY?
Yes.
Ooh, it's definitely ranging for one. Um, um, let's see. Let's go over it. Start off at the daily. That ain't giving me much. It could be pulling back because even the daily is ranging. Yeah, the daily ain't did nothing. Let me see. What is this? February? Is that this year? Yeah, February. It's been ranging all year, and it just came up to the. So I could see the sale honestly on that at the peak of February, at the high of the year, until 2 days ago it broke it. It basically came back up and hit that, so it could be holding that for the sale. I see that on the daily, but I think that sale is probably just pullbacks for an overall buy. What the buy did was a three vector buy straight up, 1, 2, 3, and then it pulled back. So somewhere it's going to hit a low and buy all over again. So I think the overall is the buy, but I do see the sell right now. 4 hour, what we got going on. Same thing, because I'll be looking for three levels off of this. I got one here in this pullback to the mustard and a second. It don't necessarily, it could have done three levels. I'm pretty sure this did three levels on the hour. We'll get to that because I don't see the pullback on the 4. But before this happened anyway, we got this pullback. Hmm. On the 4 hour, I'll be watching for this to cross back up to see if it's going to cancel out that sale. We do got to cross down on the TDI here for the 4 hour, and this could be a drop and a consolidation and then another drop. Man, it look like it almost still want to hold these lows though. It look like it want to hold these here, which was the first thing I noticed before I even went to the day chart. And it's definitely zoning, arranging. And then yeah, we got a 30-minute hitting that Mayo. The lower time frames look like buys. I would do want to ask what time frame was you looking at to see your sell?
I think I was looking at the hour.
Yeah, let me see. We got a cross on the TDI on the 15. It just it wasn't above the 50, but on the 30, this would have been a signal if this was above the 50 for the buy. You already know how that one works. It is almost there. If this had crossed, if that green and red would have crossed above the 50, that would have gave off that little buy tab for the 30. I don't. Where's your stop? How high is your stop?
Hold on, I'm trying to because Trade Locker lags like a motherfucker. Hold on.
Yeah.
My stop was for NJ is 95.148.
95, 95.418. Oh,
148. So
now that
slightly below the 50%.
okay. Hmm.
Because I kind of do like a 30 pips stop loss on like NU pair or Kiwi pairs.
Yeah,
Um, so but yeah.
let me look at that.
And then I got into CAD JPY.
I ain't gonna lie, I see a buy like a mug, but it probably is a sale coming. It just might be the entry. Because if I had a sale and I was able to get it above here, I will hold it. And the main reason is because of that day chart. Let me see. With the day chart showing that it basically respecting. Let me see if this is an all-time high. No, hell no. That definitely an all-time high.
Because I saw something that made me get to the sell. I don't remember what it was.
I can see the sale today. I honestly can see the sale today. I don't think it's a sale overall. And I see it because of the way that it basically hit this peak, came and broke it, and then came and rejected right after. So I see the sale today. The candles, it ain't bearish enough like I would like it to be, like for a railroad or something. Honestly, if I was trading this, I probably wouldn't have did nothing, and I would have waited for a buy. But I do see the sale coming to pull back somewhere. I just don't know how low it's gonna pull back because it looked like it could see this. We got a railroad on the 4 hour right here, and these are nothing but W's on the lower time frames. So we got a 4 hour railroad earlier today. It keep bouncing off this right here. I think that was what the 30-minute Mayo is hitting the 30-minute Mayo. Keep bouncing off for it. It looked like it went across here. I see a buy right now.
Okay.
If you willing to scratch it,
Yeah,
you could be right though. I don't want to tell you to get out of it.
I might need to get out of CAD JPY though, because I think I accidentally was switching through time frames and took a sell off for something I saw on the 4 hour earlier when I was trying to trade something on like the 1 hour. But I might need to close my CAD JPY early.
You, you say you got to sell
That
on
just
that.
kind of yeah, that kind of definitely I did low risk. So worst case scenario, I'll only lose like $30. But yeah, I think I misread the charts on CAT JPY.
I ain't gonna lie. I want to ask Joey. Joey, what you see?
Yeah, I had a moment on CAT JPY, but in JPY, I
And I
did
don't know
see
if
its sell potential.
okay. Let me. And I don't know if Fred's able to come off the come on the mic. I
What the
want to
hell
know if
was I
Fred, I
thinking
don't,
for CAT JPY?
who's ever even
Yeah, I was
traded
having a
these
moment.
pairs. Oh, go ahead. My bad. I think it's lagging.
Okay, yeah, I think I had a crypto question. Are you testing your bots on both of these pairs? I am my own bot. I don't use a bot because I'm really trying to focus on trusting my own analysis because my analysis is a pretty good. Like I'll catch like a whole move. My thing is just sometimes I have issues with my timing, or I notice that when the markets are super choppy, I have difficulty trading in that. But the issue comes, I don't recognize that I'm in chop fast enough.
Got you. So you are testing your bots. That was my question. Because I know you're developing your own bots.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to get it to, that's a process. So I kind of had to, I did something and I lost like the original like framework for what was working, and now I have to like fight with my tools to like rebuild it. But things are coming together. Things are coming
Do
together, so that's just gonna take some time.
do you have somewhere where you're able to save your information outside of, like I've been using Google Notes, or everybody know I was using Pencil, and you just log in with your email, just so you can put the scripts and information somewhere safe to the side, or you can
Yeah,
email
I
it to
did
your system.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we altered the script and then I lost like that base script and we just couldn't like figure it back out. So now I have like a ghost, like a sort of ghost bot thing kind of running. But
Yeah.
it'll work out. I'm not gonna stress about
That's what's up.
it. Oh shit, I didn't get my attachment off the middle of the street.
And
My
y'all,
bad.
so y'all
Yeah.
know. Oh damn, go ahead. It sounds like you going low.
Oh my bad. I just kind of looked outside. I saw the trash people left my garbage can in the middle of the street. I did it.
I wanted to point out because Luna was asking, most of this stuff is based off the TDI. We do TDI more than ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
Ketchup mustard is the final straw, if it even aligns with the TDI.
Sometimes that catch a
Um,
domestic be lying.
yeah, yeah. And even the TDI will sometimes, but it's rare. The TDI is way more accurate.
What about the
Um,
RSI? Are you using that as much as
the
the TDA
the
as the T?
TDI RSI is inside the TDI. That's what the green line is.
Okay.
CAD. So I didn't get in CAD. That shit definitely buy, but you already figured that one out. Said you need to
Yeah, I
get
had a
out there.
moment. I had a moment.
And you was pushing them damn buttons. And
Those are
now the scanner do look good for a buy on here right now. Just the day chart. That look good. It can come all the way back up to these highs up here. I don't know. Are these all-time highs? No. Everything's getting close to its all-time high. If it ain't at it. That's well, I don't want to say that one. But the dollar ain't shit. But it did this clear M and it look like it's gonna say forget that M. We finna buy up. Let me get off these pairs. Are you going to continue to attempt to trade those?
yeah, that was me having a moment. I misread something and I'm not sure what I misread. Um, NJ, I'm gonna hold on to it because like I said, either way it's low risk. So I'm just because it seems like there's Kiwi weakness at the moment. So I'm gonna see what NJ does.
All right. Since I'm saving me starting this whole little course thing for next week, anybody want me to go over something? I ain't trading nothing today. I don't see nothing. Unless I get an hour TDI alert for gold for a sale. But that's about it. And so far, it don't look like that's even going to happen. It's already done for the day. All right, so what we gonna do? Um, I'm gonna explain some basic stuff right now before I get off of here. For everybody new that got on and is gonna move forward, this basic stuff that I probably need to do a video for this. I don't even like to explain. I ain't gonna lie. I would send you to YouTube for some of this stuff, and it's the stuff as far as like maybe I need to do a 10-minute video or something on the spreads, the pips, how to count it, how to use the apps. I probably need to go over do a video for that because the pips I eyeball it at this point, but I don't know how to read other stuff. So let me get off of gold because I'm gold is too easy for me at this point as far as reading pips and all of that. And you can always use your ruler. Your ruler will help you figure that out. And the way you use it, you pick the ruler, you place it on your chart wherever you want to start from, and this counts the pips. So that number 20 to the right is your 20 pips. The bars is just how many candles, and then they got the time frame and how long you're in the trade, 6 hours, 4 hours, whatever you move it to. So that's how you count your pips. We're going to maximize 20 to 30 pips on these forex pairs. So that would be 30. Going down, like if you was to figure out your stop loss, same thing, 20 pips, 30 pips. One thing I kept talking about today was the spread. The spread is your bid and ask price. So if you get into a buy, your entry is going to be on the red line. You're always going to start off negative. That trade does not go into profit until the blue line reaches your entry. And same for the sale. If I got into a sale, it's going to start on the blue line, and I'm not in profit until the red line gets to the entry line. Now, one thing I was talking about with taking TPs, let's say, for example, you got into a buy right here, and you set this as your take profit. This would not have taken you out the trade. The candle did not hit the line, which lets me know for sure the spread did not hit the line. So the way the spread works is the same way it did on the entry. If I got a line right here for my take profit and I'm in a buy, this blue line has to hit the take profit line to take me out that trade. The red line can hit it and it will not take you out. The candle can hit it and you'll still be in this trade. The spread has to hit it. The spread is the only one of the number one tricks that the brokers got to fake you out your trade. It can come all the way down and get close to it and never hit. And it'll be because the spread didn't hit it. So another example is something like this. I got into a sale somewhere and it comes down, and let's say my take profit was the blueberry. That red line would have had to come to the blueberry to take me out the trade, which means the blue line on the bid and ask price, the bid would have been down here and the candle would have been down here, but it would not take me out until that red line hits it. So the red line needs to hit your take profit for your sell, and your blue line needs to hit your take profit for the buy. That is one thing that had people mad because it looked like it hit it and it didn't. And that's the reason why. For Flow, whoever's new getting into the group, I want to explain what my trade setups look like. So I use a few indicators. These are on my YouTube as well. This is the ADR. Average daily range is what it stands for. And it basically measures how much the market moves every day. This switches every day. You can switch it for a daily, weekly, monthly. So the way my trades look like when they come through, let's say, for example, I get into this buy. What you're going to see in the group, you're going to see something like this. Let's say I get in right here. You're going to see this white line. This white line is going to show right here. That's my entry. That's where I got in at. Then you're going to see the shaded area. The red shaded area is your stop loss. So if the trade goes the wrong way, this is the area where we're getting out at because it went the wrong way. So let's say, for example, I want to get out right here and I set my stop loss here. You're going to see the red right here as my stop loss. And then my target, I'm going to put it on 100%. So this top green line is my target. There are multiple targets. So in between all of these right here are your other targets. So if we got into this buy, my first target is going to be this first green line. This is the entry where I got in. This is my stop loss where I'm getting out in case it go wrong. And these are my targets 1, 2, and 3. You'll see the price 1.1652. That's what you would type in on your phone or your laptop for your take profit if you want to go for the first target. Second target, the price is right here, and the third target. My final target, you'll see it right here on the side. This is how this looks and this is how this works. I made sure that everybody's in the group now understands this. So I kept this as my method of how I put my trade ideas into the chat. I screenshot this, I take a screenshot of this, send it into the chat, and this is exactly what you're going to see. Once you're in there, you can go through the history and go back and you'll see all the trades I've put in, and you'll be able to get an idea of what's going on. Everybody in there understands it at this point, so that's my method. That's what I'm sticking with. And one of my tips is I like to use alerts. So if I put in a trade, I want it to go to the 100%. You come in here, you can use Trading View. I suggest if you get serious with this, you're gonna need some kind of subscription. Unless you're somebody just sitting here and you got a schedule and you only trade 1 or 2 hours a day and you looking at this thing the whole time, then you good to go. But me, I don't like to look at this stuff once I'm in it. I go about my day. And I set alerts. And I would set an alert for every take profit I got on here. So I'd set an alert there. That's going to go off on my phone when it hits. And then I set another one at the other take profit. And the way I do it is I usually put it a little bit below so I can catch it early. And then I can go in there and manage my trade, look at my phone, whatever I need to do. As you get more fluent and adapt to trading, I have videos that show you how to take partials, put your stop loss and profit. That might be a whole foreign language to you right now, but you'll start to understand as you move forward. For now, as a newbie, I would just go for the first take profit. If you've never traded before, you new to it, or you refreshing and you're not sure about what you're doing and you just trying to get back accommodated, go for the first target. It gets in there, you get in, you get out, you're done. Don't get caught up in other people catching more trades. Don't jump in because you see everybody else trading. Stick with your move and keep it at that until you maximize that and you master that. While I'm on here now, I want to know, did everybody understand what I just said?
Yeah,
Flo,
I'm
you got
catching.
me, Flo?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. It's, it's definitely a lot of new information. So it's but it does make sense. I like the way you explain it.
It's a foreign language until you get it. Now, I do got a mini, what I call a little mini beginner course on my YouTube. I send that in and you can go over that. And that's something you can go over until next week. And once you're in the chat, you good. I'll be sending you stuff just to help you get brushed up, learn the terms, the definitions, what everything mean, all that kind of stuff. Take your time with it. At the same time, I like to keep it simple as possible. People got all these big words for stuff. I say buy and sell. We in the buys going up, we in the sales going down. I literally would say up and down. There's other terms for it, trader terms, bearish, bullish, and all this other stuff. It sounds cool. It don't make you a better trader. You should be able to explain this to a 10-year-old by the time you're done with it. That's why we got simple stuff: water, mayo, blueberry, ketchup, mustard. I use the TDI. I call it money and honey. So I try to keep it as simple as possible. We do M's and we look for M's and W's. You should be able to recognize like this is a W. And I tell people it's gonna look like a W when you was in kindergarten. Um, when you see W's, we're looking for buys. These are like W's. And when you see an M, we're looking for sales. This is like a funny looking M right here, and then it dropped and did a sell. We got M's up here. These are M's, and then it did a sell. And then that's what this is for, this green line down here. If you can't tell up here, you're going to see the M's down here and the W's down here. And we can get into depth of that at another time because I don't want to overdo it. But I help you recognize, you'll be able to see the M's and W's that you're looking for. After a while, you'll train your eyes, and your eyes will adapt to recognizing this stuff. And it'll be just as simple as looking at anything else. You'll understand how to read a chart.
All
I
right.
don't want to over. Go ahead.
I was just saying, all right.
All right. This y'all time to ask me anything, because other than that, I'm gonna end it, and I'll catch y'all next week, and we'll be in the chat. Till next time. All right then. Peace out.